Let's get the other part of ambition. I'm getting it every single time you're addressing the media that you want to win the league. You've won a cup, you've lost a cup in the final. Now I'm getting a sense that Benni McCarthy in the brand new season wants to win the league. Please confirm that, or am I dreaming here?
Yeah, no, Robbie, there's no dreams. There's no dreams. I think I can't be my third season in as a head coach, and then I don't think that's the ultimate goal. That's what I want to achieve. I think it's time now. Um, I've learned what I needed to learn. I've tested the waters and I've wet my lips. But now, yeah, I want to start implementing everything that I've learned up until now. And I think, yeah, last season gave us an appetite that, you know what, we weren't far off.
Yeah.
If we can manage the way we started last season to the new season, if we can manage that properly and we don't give ourselves a mountain to climb in the beginning, and then once we hit the ground running, and I think that's when the consistency kicked in, and then what we wanted to achieve, then we were quite steady from there onwards. But I think the start that we had to the season was the one that really killed it for us.
Sure.
And so yeah, you do some homework, you look at the numbers, you look at the stats, and then you say to yourself, you analyze, and you say, listen boys, if we start, not saying that the sprint, it's a 100-meter sprint race, we
Gotta
go
pace yourself.
so we pace ourselves, but we pace ourselves, we don't let the leaders get too far off us, so we keep ourselves in the pack. So if we can do that, but yeah, we need the quality of players that we bring in. We've lost Teko, we've lost Kwanda, and those are experienced players and players that were valuable.
Obviously,
in the
Patosi
team.
midway
And Patosi
through,
midway through. So, and we've only brought in really Chris David for Patosi, and Tashi Morris and Mubarak. But yeah, the Teko replacement, and I know we've got injuries that they can come back. When they come back, they make a huge difference. But still,
Giftling stays?
he's staying. Gift is staying. Ralani is staying. Craig Martin is staying. Everyone is staying and ready to go and looking sharp. But yeah, you want to add one or two more quality, finger-licking good players that you can put the others on their toes as well,
So besides the ones that we spoke about, is there any other surprise? Because
there's no surprises, but there's my wish list.
So you've given me 3.
I said 3 or 4 players I would love to bring in. Mpo Makola. I'm putting it out there for my chairman, so he knows what's going on.
So you are a Pirates man, Orlando Pirates man. So your relationship with the chairman is very good of Orlando Pirates. So if you say you want Paul Makola, instead of him sitting on the bench at Orlando Pirates,
he's free.
He's there. He's available.
He's free. He's been released.
He's been released.
Been released at Pirates.
Yeah.
So it's a player. I know he comes at a heavy price. Salary cap, and what, but if you're not paying a transfer fee, and that's affordable, you can afford.
So
but
when you're signing
you know what you're gonna get when you sign these kind of players, and it's a player that I know. My last days of playing, I was fortunate enough to share a dressing room and to share the field, the stage with this kid, and I think he's unbelievable, probably one of the special talents we got here.
When are you signing him?
I don't know. I'm going to my chairman today.
Yeah.
And then maybe put up a brave fight, and hopefully I can come out victorious.
So before the Chipper game, you would have sealed the deal?
I hope before the Super Sport game.
Which is tomorrow.
Yeah, Robbie.
That's
my desire.
That's a good desire, but it also shows the intent. It shows the ambition. It shows where you want to take this team. Because Paul Makola, he did magic for Orlando Pirates, especially at Orlando Stadium. Set pieces, shots from outside of the box. He is that kind of special player who can surprise you, and he doesn't do the normal. That I can tell you that much. And if you get somebody like that.
And that's why I'm saying, I'm licking my lips, crossing my fingers that that it is possible. And
Yeah.
I know my chairman is a great man.
Love
He's
it.
a man that knows, what it takes to win. He's a man that knows in order to be the best, you got to bring in some of the best. And I'm not asking for, but I'm asking for just a
One or
bit.
two. One or two. There were moments in the training. Obviously, you were a bit unhappy with a few of the drills or application from the players. Just tell me offhand, what was it in the training that you took away that you were able to say to the guys when you brought them together that you were not happy with X, Y, and Z?
No, it's I think, like I said, trainings are for improving ourselves and better and work on what you're not so good at. And I just felt at times we take for granted, when you play it becomes easy because it's a lot of it is unopposed. So you've got the markers there, so there's no opponents, and then you work on certain patterns. And then when you're in front of goals, if you miss the goal, it's okay. You can laugh about it, you can joke about it, and then it seems, and that's why we in South Africa, we struggle to find a striker that scores 20 goals a season.
Sure.
You score 16 goals, it's acceptable. We score 10 goals, it's acceptable. And then you look at in Europe, the strikers is on 39, 40, Messi, Ronaldo's, the so-called old, the veterans of the game. They're doing it in the toughest league, year in, year out. And if one day when I get the opportunity to go that side, I'm going to film a training session to see how real superstars behave and how their work ethic change.
You can come with me in October 6th, with the winners of the Nivea competition. I'm off to Real Madrid. You can put on your leave for that week.
Yeah, but Ronaldo's gone. I wanted to show them.
No, don't worry about Ronaldo. Now you've got
Hazard.
You got Hazard that's crept in there. So he's also a player of a different quality. You have a Zizou who's back in as a coach, starting a season from the beginning and not coming in midstream to already sunken ship. So you still get that, but then we can quickly go across to Juve and go and see Ronaldo.
Yeah, no. So
we can take that week off.
I think that would be brilliant.
That'd be great.
I'll put my leave in.
Yeah, we go.
And but it was just about the difference of mindset and how we think about being. We cry that we don't have this, we don't have that, we don't score enough goals and that. But then you see when you work on it, how lackadaisy we are, and it's okay to miss. It's not okay to miss. You gotta push yourself. So it frustrates me and it angers me, and I think that's when I call a stop in, and then I just give players a reality check because you can't complain about the service and that, but when you do get the service in the trainings, you also miss. So the games, you get the service because you miss. Now you don't get the service. So players have to be a little bit. They have to, like, this is their everyday life. We get one chance, and when it's over, it's over. If I could turn back the clock 10 years time, I would, but I can't. Time waits for no man. So,
Wagadugu.
Exactly. So those years are gone, and now they have an opportunity. And before it's gone from them, make the most of it. And that's what I try and explain to these guys, that you can't mess around in training because it becomes a habit. When you score goals in training, you're going to score goals in matches. And that's just how it is, whether you believe or you don't believe. But I've been through it, I've been there, and I've seen many a top players. Didier Drogba, I've seen firsthand how the guy trains, and then you wonder, that's why he scores goals. Cristiano Ronaldo, I've seen right there, so I know. And what we do here, we don't know the levels that they play at. We'll get a hell of a reality check and a hell of a shock. And then when you see he scores 45, goals per
averaging
season
50.
every
Yeah,
year,
every
and then
year.
you get to understand, okay, that's normal, because you see the guy in training, every training session,
Yeah.
he scores at least 15, 20 goals in the training session.
And he stays behind. That's a part. He stays behind.
So
He does set pieces on his own. Then from there he goes to the gym. That 6-8 pack that he has doesn't come from
Yep, 100%.
having donuts after training. That comes from a certain discipline that you have as a football player to do more, to want more, to not just be happy with the Benni McCarthy training session, but to be happy with adding on, because it is about you, it's about your legacy. And you know all about that, Benny, in terms of just trying to accomplish. For you, the one thing that you really want to set a mark on for the brand new season, you played exciting football last season that people saw. They enjoyed it. You filled up the stadium in Mbombela. I think by Thursday the game was sold out. Who would have ever thought, yeah, sure, Kaizer Chiefs draw the crowd, but they were playing against Cape Town City. That was the thing. They were playing against a team that was seen to be exciting. You were drawing crowds here in Cape Town as well. What is that one thing that you want to see rise above everything else that you guys accomplished last season?
Yeah, that there's more diversity
Yeah.
within our football, because I think the beauty of what we did, we tried and play, not to, I don't want to say to entertain the fans, but we want people, you want to come and see Cape Town City, because you're going to get a game where players leave everything on the pitch.
Right.
Like, you play until you can't anymore, and then you ask me, Coach, to be substituted.
Sure.
Because that
You've given everything.
Then a fan is satisfied, like whether the team comes on top or we don't come out on top, but people will appreciate because they know that this guy left everything out there.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I've asked of my players, just to go out there, give everything. Don't come in with regrets, and we know if we were beaten by the better team.
Sure.
But we walk out with our heads held high because we know, hey, there was nothing we could have done today, because they were just remarkable. They were unstoppable. They were that better than us that we didn't have an answer for them. So that's the kind of performances, the gutsy performances. But we go there to go out and have fun. We play with smiles on our faces, and we play like we were back at under 10s, under 12 level.
Enjoying.
It wasn't there for the money. It wasn't there for the cars and that. It was just there because you couldn't see yourself doing anything else but play football. So that's what I ask every single game, and most halftime talks.
Yeah.
That's what I tell them. I said, guys, I didn't see any of us playing in the backfields, and when we didn't have nothing.
Yeah.
We didn't have boots. You had to play with, you had to make your own boots, you had to sellotape your trainers be broken. I didn't see any of those kids out there on the pitch. I seen a bunch of prima donnas. You worried about your social media, you worried about your hair, you worried about this or that, and I didn't see hungry 10-year-olds wanting that opportunity. And now you've got the opportunity and you're abusing. So come to reality. There's 45 minutes. Go and change our mindset. Go and change the attitude. Come back and finish the game. A hungry 10-year-old wanting to be famous one day. And I want to see that player coming in the second half, irrespective if it's a good result, even the better, we feel better. If it's a bad result, but at least you come in and says, hey, first half I was maybe nowhere, second half I did what I did and I couldn't do more, and man.
But you're allowed on this show to talk about that was a cack performance. So we don't discipline you for doing that. I know that you and the DC were good friends last season, for saying certain things. But you're an outspoken person, Benny. Nobody can take that away from you. 60 points plus is what he's aiming for. He's aiming to win the league. He's aiming to improve the quality of his squad. And of course, what's the final thing that you're aiming for? That we don't know about, that you want us to know about? That I haven't asked you? That you're asking yourself and answering your own question? What is it?
The Bafana Bafana goes to Qatar 2022.
Are you going to be the Bafana coach?
I don't know, brother.
If I had to offer you that job right now, and Stuart Baxter, things didn't work out well for him, those people are saying Bafana need a young coach. People have been saying they need a Benni McCarthy. Would you take a job like that?
I don't see why not. If you offer me the job,
yeah.
No? If you offer me the
if
job,
I offer you the job,
and that is what I've got to work with, then yeah, I'll take it. Because first thing,
is that in your contract? Is that in your contract to say, in the event that the national team of South Africa approaches Benni McCarthy, that I will forfeit my position at Cape Town City for the national team?
No, not in my contract.
Not in your contract, but it could happen, though.
But it could happen, but I don't think it's gonna happen. But
why? Why do you think so?
Because South Africa, we have our ways how we do things, in our federation. So, I don't know. I don't fit that description.
What description is that?
The fans wants, there's Renat maybe become available, and he's most desired coach there that they want, so.
Yeah, desired coach, but at some point South Africa needs to think out of the box. South Africa needs to look at what other trends are. You look at what...
There's a Gavin Hunt I think that's very, very well capable of doing.
But they've denied him a chance for how many years, Gavin? Gavin has won back-to-back titles, and he's still been left behind.
That's why we're not succeeding, because we keep denying the real people that can probably make a difference. Your Pizzos, your Gavin Hunts, me.
Your Bennies.
One day, not.
But why must we wait for you to be an old dopey before you can be given a job?
But that's how it works.
No, Benni.
Yeah, but I think this is the right time now. This is the right time for a coach like a Gavin Hunt, Pizzo, if they get the job, if they get this job, that they've got a great crop of players coming through. We've got a good generation of South African players, and with the right person to drive that, to lead that ship, to lead that
team. Different motivation, Benni, is what they need in that team.
100%. And then I think, you can do something special. Because you've seen, we had to wait. After all the frustrations of the AFCON, we had to wait against Egypt to still not see a full South Africa at its full potential. Because, as great as a result that was, at times it was so frustrating. Why the hell are we letting Egypt dictate and putting us to the sword? And then you hit one counter and you see the quality that we had. They've got a Mo Salah. But Mo Salah ain't God. I'm sorry for that expression, and I know like it's a religious thing, but when you put it out there, if there's people, you fear God, because He's the Almighty, and He makes things, and we live in this beautiful world, earth that we're in, because of God. And to make a comparison to a player, to a human being, it's completely wrong, and that was probably the wrong phrase that I used. But I'm saying we fear Mo Salah like it is a biblical character, and it's not, and we've got so much top class players, and then but eventually we got the result, and then but I still think we sold ourselves very short at that AFCON. It wasn't positive. It was sad to see this great country with great resources, with great facilities, with infrastructure compared to the rest of Africa, and then we win one game out of 4, and 1 out of 5. How many was it?
Remember we were almost out. We came through via third best, and even then we kind of hung on because other results had to favour South Africa.
It's happy days. It's happy days because we got there, but the manner that we got there, Ivory Coast, they're Ivory Coast, but we Bafana, we don't scare anybody anymore, and I think that's what we need to create. We need to get back. We need to find our identity. what makes South Africa, what makes Bafana special.
Namibia, I mean, you remember Namibia very, very well, Benny. So when we play against nations like that,
that they don't fear us, it's
yeah,
beyond me.
but that's why a guy like Ricardo Manetti, who's done so well as a coach, instilling pride, knowing that a lot of the players are playing in the PSL. So it happens that way. But Lord, it's fantastic, man. I look forward to coming back here.
Yeah, no,
and chatting
I'm looking
and
very
catching
forward
up.
to having you here as well, Rabbi. Nice. Thanks for the visit and for the open chat, and hopefully the platform is set again.
Yeah, you know the story.
And I know you're going to make waves, son. I know
Thank
you're
you.
going to make waves like you've always done, big man.
Thank you so much. Benni McCarthy, coach of Cape Town City. As I said, uncensored, we talk the way we talk because talking is what we do.